You believe that if a girl finally texted you, if you just had a girlfriend, that emptiness would instantly vanish. You tell yourself that your loneliness is the root of every single problem in your life, but you are completely wrong. You don't need a girlfriend. You are chasing a ghost, running away from the real issue, and it is destroying your potential. We live in a hyper-connected, deeply isolated world. Society relentlessly feeds you the lie that you are perpetually incomplete. The modern world functions like an endless digital conveyor belt. You are told to buy the next smartphone, download the newest app, watch the next viral video, and click the next link. Companies design algorithms specifically to keep you perpetually unsatisfied with your current reality. This toxic cycle does not stop at consumer products. It heavily infects how you view human relationships. You look around and see everyone else seemingly coupled up, and you conclude that a girlfriend is the final missing piece of your life puzzle. It is a natural human instinct to desire more, to seek connection, and to want companionship. But here's the critical catch that no one warns you about. Accumulating more possessions or forcing a relationship will never fix your internal brokenness. A girlfriend is not a magical cure for a damaged psyche or an unfulfilled life. For years, I was trapped in that exact same mental prison. Throughout high school and deep into my college years, I was the guy who firmly believed that getting a girlfriend would instantly resolve all my deep-seated personal issues. I blamed my awkwardness, my low self-esteem, and my general lack of direction on the simple fact that I was completely alone. Because of this delusion, I completely warped my entire existence. I engineered my daily routine around the desperate goal of capturing the attention of a girl. I pushed myself to lift heavy weights at the gym, not to build health or strength, but solely because I desperately hoped it would make me look more attractive to women. I spent countless weekends dragging myself to loud, crowded bars that I absolutely detested, forcing myself to endure environments I hated just on the off chance I might meet someone. Worst of all, I compromised my own integrity. I hung out with people I actively disliked and showed unearned respect to individuals who treated me poorly, all because they had social connections to girls. My life devolved into an inauthentic, hollow shell. I was frantically trying to fill a massive internal void with another human being, looking for a cheap, easy answer to painful questions I refused to ask myself. It was a pathetic way to live, and it failed miserably. Let me be perfectly clear. You do not need a relationship right now. It is completely fine to want a girlfriend, to desire romance, and to eventually find a partner. But entering a relationship with the expectation that it will rescue you from your own life is a recipe for absolute disaster. When you look at dating as a rescue mission, you stop living authentically. You neglect your true desires, ignore your actual goals, and bury who you really are just to play a character that you think someone else will love. Finding a partner who truly aligns with your core values, who supports you, and who brings genuine peace into your life is undoubtedly one of the greatest experiences you can have. Building a deep, long-term commitment with another human being is a beautiful, noble aspiration. You absolutely should try to find love, but the exact mindset you bring to the table changes everything. A relationship is not a trophy to be won. It is not a final destination where you cross the finish line, sit back, and stop trying. Securing a girlfriend is merely the very first step of a demanding, grueling, and continuous journey of self-improvement. A real relationship demands intense, uncomfortable work. You have to learn how to selflessly put another person's needs alongside your own, to actively care about their thoughts, and to deeply empathize with their emotions. You have to learn to regulate your own anger, manage shared finances, enthusiastically support hobbies you might not care about, communicate with radical honesty, and navigate tense confrontations calmly. If you have zero interest in doing that heavy internal lifting, any relationship you enter will quickly shatter against the rocks of reality. These are critical emotional skills that you must develop within yourself long before you ever consider swipe matching with someone else. How can you expect to understand another person when you barely even know yourself? Honestly ask yourself, what actually makes you smile when nobody is watching? What small, mundane things in public bring you unprompted moments of joy? On the flip side, what irrational, petty things make your blood boil? For example, I get absurdly angry when someone blocks an entire lane of traffic in a busy parking lot just to wait for a front row parking space. It is a small, insignificant thing, but it is a distinct quirk of my personality. Can you sit completely alone at a restaurant table without pulling out your phone to hide your awkwardness? If you could board a plane to anywhere in the world tomorrow with no restrictions, where would you go? And what does that choice say about your soul? These questions might seem trivial or silly on the surface, but they are the raw blueprint of your identity. If you do not possess the answers to these fundamental questions, you have no business trying to merge your life with another person. Popular culture loves to propagate the deeply flawed idea that a relationship consists of two broken, half people coming together to form one complete whole. That is a toxic lie. That specific dynamic creates a codependent, fragile, and incredibly hollow bond. A genuinely powerful, beautiful relationship occurs when two entirely complete individuals choose to combine their lives. It requires two separate people who already fully understand their own identities, working in steady harmony to build a shared vision while fiercely supporting each other's independent growth. Relationships will always involve friction, stress, and intense arguments. But if you possess a grounded understanding of yourself and your partner, you can successfully dismantle those problems together. If you enter the arena blind to your own identity, you are guaranteed to destroy both yourself and the person you claim to love. You do not need a girlfriend to fill your void or tell you who you are. You must build a meaningful, independent life first. When you focus entirely on creating value, mastering your craft, and becoming a grounded individual, you naturally become the kind of person that an incredible partner wants to be around. The absolute first step on this path is to intentionally figure out who you are. And you cannot do that by sitting in your comfort zone doing the exact same things every single day. You need to aggressively experiment. Try physical hobbies that terrify you. Force yourself to have deep conversations with people whose backgrounds and worldviews completely contradict your own. Dedicate time to learning complex skills. Attempt to create art, write poetry, or build something with your hands, even if the end result is absolutely terrible. Watch foreign movies you would normally ignore, and play video games outside your usual genre. Force yourself to taste unfamiliar foods and purposely introduce yourself to strangers in public spaces just to break your social anxiety. It is tragic how many young people in their 20s have already constructed a rigid, unyielding cage around their identity. They decide early on that they dislike the outdoors, so they never touch grass. They claim they hate a specific genre of music, so they refuse to ever listen to a single track. They hide behind a beard because they are terrified of seeing what their actual face looks like. They accept being out of shape, so they completely write off the possibility of ever running a mile. They essentially decide at 20 years old that they are completely done evolving as a human being. They choose to freeze their personal development and remain exactly as they are for the rest of their natural lives. That is a form of mental suicide. Unless you can look in the mirror right now and honestly say you have reached the absolute peak of human fulfillment, staying stagnant is a choice to spend the next 60 years of your existence in bitter misery and profound isolation. You will never discover the true heights of your capability until you intentionally force yourself into environments that make you deeply uncomfortable. Look at my own life. Throughout college, I drank massive amounts of alcohol constantly, convincing myself that it was perfectly normal and fine. It wasn't until I made the difficult choice to completely quit drinking that I realized the staggering level of sleep quality, physical performance, and mental clarity I had been actively sacrificing. Choosing sobriety initially made me feel intensely isolated socially. I watched my old friends continue to party without me, but enduring that temporary discomfort allowed me to establish a firm, unshakable boundary. I do not like alcohol, and I will never go back to it. If I had let the fear of rejection or the anxiety of being labeled the weird guy dictate my choices, I would still be drowning my potential in a bottle. This is the universal principle for finding your true self. You must actively push past the comfortable boundaries of your current life to relentlessly challenge your pre-existing biases. Read books by thinkers you disagree with just to understand their perspectives. Step onto a tennis court or a basketball court, even if you know you will look ridiculous and miss every shot. Join a yoga class and be perfectly fine with being the worst, most inflexible person in a room full of experts. Dive into experiences you assumed you would hate. I recently made the terrifying choice to quit a stable, full-time sales job to become a freelance video editor. Through that intense discomfort, I have learned more about my discipline, my work ethic, and my creative limits than I ever did sitting in a comfortable corporate chair. Year by year, I am slowly carving out my true identity. When you commit to doing this difficult, solitary work, instead of begging for a relationship to distract you from your void, your entire quality of life skyrockets. You stop needing a girlfriend to save you. You fill the emptiness yourself by exploring the world and mastering your own mind. The great irony is that the exact moment I stopped looking for a savior and started actively building my own identity is precisely when my current girlfriend entered my life. She completely aligns with everything I ever wanted, and she brings me more happiness than I ever thought possible. She loves me for exactly who I am today, not for some idealized future version of me, and the specific traits she loves most about me are the exact quirks and strengths I uncovered when I chose to step out of my comfort zone. Do not listen to the internet gurus trying to sell you pathetic dating courses, and do not waste your money on predatory apps designed to keep you lonely and swiping. No external force can fix a void that can only be filled by self-discovery. Stop consuming life passively through a screen. Step directly into the discomfort of reality. Build a soul worth sharing, because an empty house can never host a home.